Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MySpace podcast. I'm your host, Miley, and today I'll be reviewing the book Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I love this book. Okay, this is book number 1 of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. There are 3 books, it's all finished, so yes, I literally love this series. Okay, let's get into this, shall we? Also, I have my dog in the room, so there may be noises in the background. Rating. I give this book a 10 out of 10. I love it. I love this book, and I don't think I can explain how much I love this book. And I think this is probably my 3rd time reading it. Maybe, I don't know. I have a memory of reading it last year during winter break, but I don't. God, I love it so much, but I don't have a lot of notes on it, which is kind of funny. Probably because I've read it so much, I don't have as many notes because I've already read it like 1,000 times. No, I'm kidding. It hasn't been 1,000. Nowhere close. One thing, if you are thinking about reading the book, Evangeline, the main character, she's very naive to the point where it can get really annoying. So be prepared for that if you decide to read this book. I don't really find it annoying. In other books I do, but not with this one. Probably because I understand why. So yeah, POV, 3rd person, limited to just Evangeline, so it's really just her POV. I believe in one of the other books, I think the next one, we get POV from Jack's point of view for like a chapter at the very end, I think, if my memory serves me right. So yeah, genre, fantasy, romance, young adult, and enemies to lovers. Thank you. Yeah, that's basically the main. This is also very much enemies to lovers. This is my dog. Yeah. Plots of the storyline. I believe I didn't put a lot into it because I didn't want to give away a lot of details. Because sometimes I put a lot more details, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to put details in. So, starting this off, the reason why basically this whole story happens, not the whole reason, but part of it. So Evangeline is trying to stop the love of her life from marrying another woman. So she prays to the Prince of Hearts, who's Jax, to help her and to stop the marriage. She finds his church. So yeah, he says he'll help her, but she has to do 3 things for him. So it's like, she makes a deal with him. And there's a whole bunch of things saying that you should never make deals with fates. So the deal is that she has to have 3 kisses, so with 3 people of his choosing. Of course, it's his choosing. And his way of stopping the wedding is not what she wanted, so she tries to reverse it. Yeah. Flash forward like 3 months. She's being sent to the north to participate in this type of ball thing where the crown prince Apollo will choose a woman to marry so that he can become king. Apollo is the crown prince of the north. She's in the south, I believe, so 2 different kingdoms. And the north is also where all the magical and fairy tale things are too. Now, of course, he ends up choosing Evangeline, with definitely no help from Jax. None whatsoever. Definitely not. She doesn't like how, Evangeline doesn't like how these feelings are being faked. So she asks Jax to stop it and to just let Apollo not feel any emotion. He does eventually. Eventually, Jax stops it. But she and Apollo end up getting married. Apollo is murdered, and she and Jax are framed for it. They go somewhere to see if they can find out anything about the murderer. Yeah, things happen. Some more things happen. Evangeline confronts some people. She ends up clearing her name all on her own. And she has a very big revelation at the end of the book, which will go into the second book. Anyways, that is it for this. I will talk about the revelation in the spoiler section. So, Evangeline. She has a very fairy tale life already, if we're being completely honest. So, both of her parents are dead. Her father married this lady who's basically like her evil stepmother. But her stepsister is pretty nice. Marisol. I had the name down, now I'm not. Gosh darn it. So, Evangeline, she works in one of her dad's shops. He has like 4 of them. This one's full of like oddities and things that are probably magical. So yeah. So she doesn't have any parents, really. Fairy tale life already, like Cinderella. Her true love is Luke. We don't like him. Okay? We don't. Nobody likes him. Even Jax doesn't like him. He will become the heart of some of her problems later on. Very little, but some of the problems. Yeah. It's her naivety, really. Anyways, she is super sweet and sees the good in, like, everyone. Also one of her problems, but also, like, very admirable sometimes. She doesn't like to fight, except if it's with Jax, so that should just tell you that they're gonna end up together. Also, if you hear banging, that is my jacket hitting against my desk. Anyways. To the annoyingly naive part, so she's definitely annoyingly naive, but I look past it. And the reason why I know why she's annoyingly naive, and I understand why, so it doesn't really bother me anymore. Here are the reasons why, at least from what I understand. She believes in fairy tales and finding her true love, and she's completely grown up with that. So, growing up with having her parents tell her that all of these fairy tales and everything, and that she'll find her true love, all of this will come true, it makes her think that nothing truly bad will ever happen to her, because everything will turn out good in the end, right? And she wasn't really raised in a world that told her that bad things will happen to her, because life is never fair. That's not how she grew up. So it's really hard to, like, switch that perspective when you've grown up with something for years. There's hair. So anyways, yeah, she's grown up thinking the opposite of what the world is. So it makes sense to why she'd be naive, because she wants to find her true love. She wants to be part of a fairy tale and all these things. So obviously she's gonna always think that something is a fairy tale and good and everything. But she does start to learn, though. So yeah. I just looked into my light. That light may also die. So we hope it doesn't. And my room light is not on. That's just great. Prince of Hearts. This is Jax. So he's a fate. He's immortal and has powers. Like, of course. Basically, he also kind of a curse, and that curse is that his kiss is death. So any girl he kisses will die. And the only one immune to it is his true love. So basically, he's constantly looking for his true love. He, in the story, has already found his true love. Which is definitely part of the reason why he's doing some of the things he's doing. And it's not Evangeline. But everything comes together in that. Also, that backstory of him is part of Caraval, if I'm saying the name right. I don't know if I'll read the book. Maybe I will later. I don't know. I figured out. Anyways, back on topic. He uses insults to hide his own feelings. He tries not to allow himself to feel anything. So he just acts mean all the time. especially to Evangeline. And he's also constantly trying to fight his attraction to her. And he does a pretty good job until like one scene. But then he's back to like hating her. Also, with his true love, he doesn't really seem to actually be in love with her. It's just that he found her and wants to be with her. But he doesn't really like her. And also, she hates him, so it's a whole thing. Spoilers now. And I'm getting a headache. Hold up, I want water. So yeah, there's not a lot. There's a lot less than usual. But yeah, to get more of Jack's backstory, you definitely have to read Caraval, which is a 3 or 4 book series. I'm not sure. I haven't decided if I wanted to read it yet. Though I probably will have to. I probably will at one point. At one point I will read the series. I'll force. I just can't. I don't really know why. But it's on my shelf. That's why I keep looking over there, because I can see it. So, like, I'll have to read it because I have it. And then everything comes together later in this series. We get some more of Jack's past as well. It all comes together later in the books. So everything's kind of crazy, and you may or may not hate him after all of it. You probably will. By the end of the first book, you'll probably hate him. But things change. I'll get into why you'll hate him too in like a minute. Or 10 seconds. No. It's at the end of the spoilers. To the spoilers section, let's start a little bit about Evangeline. So, this is just a little part, like right in the beginning. It's about the Prince of Hearts church. So it's supposed to smell like your greatest heartbreak. And of course, for her, she's going to think that it's going to smell like Luke. But it doesn't smell like Luke. So she's just like, oh, that's probably not true or real. It smells like apples and blood. Which is definitely Jack's, because he's constantly eating apples. Which we also realize the reason as to why later on in the series. But I don't remember why. But I also kind of do. I'm confused. So yeah. So that's how we know who the love of her life is, basically. It basically tells us. But yeah. So yeah. Starting off with that, Luke's not the love of her life. Marisol. Still really hate fantasy names sometimes. So, this is the stepsister of Evangeline. So this is Evangeline's stepsister. I like saying it like that. Evangeline's stepsister, not stepsister of Evangeline. Anyways, so she's evil, and she's definitely a witch. Maybe she's not completely evil, but she's a witch. She's an amazing actor, and she's really jealous of Evangeline. She literally gave Luke a love potion, and I'm pretty sure she gave Apollo's brother, Tiberius, I think, a love potion as well. Because she's jealous of Evangeline. She wants what Evangeline has. And also Jax knows that that Marisol is also evil. So Jax knows that Evangeline is evil. Or like, he knows that Evangeline shouldn't hang out with Marisol at all and shouldn't trust her. His name just messes me up, and it's like the easiest. It's just because it's Jax, so there's an S at the end, and it confuses me sometimes, but it's okay. It confused me when I first read it. Anyways, to Evangeline's revelation. So, at the end of the book, she realizes who killed Apollo, because Apollo's not actually dead. He's just in a suspended state. Now, the only person who really had motive would be Marisol or Jax, but she doesn't really believe Marisol would do it. So it had to be Jax. Jax also has, like, the biggest reason to do it, too, because he needs her to enact a prophecy, and part of it is that she needs to be a fugitive. Yeah, so part of the prophecy is that she needs to be a fugitive. So, and she later needs to be able to open the door herself. She needs to open the door willingly. So, by framing himself and Evangeline, then they would be a fugitive. So yeah. And then by putting Apollo in a suspended state, he hopes that she will come to him to make a deal to wake him up, which will end with her opening the door. Because it will be another deal. So she's not happy with him, because she realizes this, and she's like, oh my gosh, he's literally been playing me this whole entire time. He also framed Marisol by, he kind of framed her, but also kind of didn't frame her. But he basically said that he was trying to prove to her that Marisol probably did it and was evil and a witch and stuff. But also, by doing that, he also proved that he knew things about it, too. So, it was... He has underestimated who she is constantly throughout this book. So, he needs to learn some things. He also really likes her. He just won't admit it. Anyways, Evangeline, she keeps literally going back and forth between Marisol being evil and not being evil. So there's all that, which is honestly kind of annoying sometimes, because it's like there's been so much to show you that she is evil. It's just that Marisol is such a good actor and looks like she's genuinely hurt that she just doesn't want to hurt Evangeline just doesn't want to hurt anyone, because Evangeline, she's really nice and sweet, and she doesn't want to hurt anyone. So like, it'd be really hard for him. So yeah, that's all I have. Oh gosh, I don't know what the next one is. What's the next book? Don't remember. It's a song. It's fine. But anyways, yeah. Beautiful. I love this cover. Oh wait, it's here. The Ballad of Never After. That's what the second book is called, and I know how it ends. I know how the books end, which is really funny. So, I know how they end, but I don't really know what happens in them, so don't we just love that? Pretty sure there's a psychology term for that. I really, really love this book series. One of my favorites. It's in my top. So, I'm really happy. I finished it last night, then I had to write the notes this morning, and then I had to go to school and things. And I've been like book deprived, and I'm like, I want to open this next book. But I don't. I like to film before I start reading the next book, so I had to wait, so I couldn't start reading, but I can now. Anyways, that is it. I probably have some work to do, and I also want to eat. So, thank you for watching and listening, and I hope you watch all my other videos in the next ones. So, words are not with me today. I hope you have a great day, night. Look at my light just turned off. I'm gonna restart. I hope you have a great night, day, week, life, month, year, life again. I'm all over the place today, I know. But thank you and goodbye.